Hi, my name is Stephanie Williams, and I am a licensed professional counselor and a licensed addictions counselor here in the state of Colorado. I graduated from Adler University in 2012. I was one of the first in the cohort for the forensic program. And since then, I have been working in Colorado in a variety of milieu, from emergency departments to jails to private practice, group specialty practices. And now I have the distinct opportunity of working as a co-responder, which is, in my opinion, very well aligned with everything I learned over at Adler. Here in Colorado, these things are starting to just pop up all over, especially up and down the I-25 corridor, as really departments are beginning to realize that this may be very well the future of law enforcement, with having a behavioral health provider in the car. Again, not because these officers aren't, good people or they don't know what they're doing. They're dealing with some individuals that have some very complex issues. So with co-response, I see this being something that is just going to continue to expand and is really blossoming right now. Initially we were figuring out, should I, maybe respond with an officer in the car? Should I allow the officers to go out and then they can call me to the scene if they want me there, and then maybe they'll stay or they'll leave depending upon how safe they believe the call is. And what we have found over time is that honestly, these scenes are so dynamic. So you're dealing with somebody who is in the middle of a crisis that has completely changed potentially their phenomenology around themselves, others, the world, or maybe one or more of those. It's not uncommon for substances to be on board in some way, shape, or form, because most crises don't just happen. They've been building, right? And then you have individuals that may or may not be taking medications like they're supposed to. Then you add in the family system and everything else, their social system that they're in. It becomes a very unpredictable situation. And so for us, I advocated very early on for us to have ballistic vests, because in one of the very first calls I was on, I thought I was going to get shot. It was very scary, and I was standing right there. I'm like, man, I want to help and give back to my community, but I also don't want to lose my life in the process. So we now wear, they were concealed vests. Now they're outer carriers. So we actually have vests that we wear on the outside that say co-responder on the front and on the back, so we're easily identified. And all we carry on us is just our medical gear, just because of the likelihood of us having to use that. Co-response, a great thing about it, and what I love so much about its alignment with Adler University, is the social justice aspect, is that I am able to help people from the very beginning of their contact with law enforcement to set them on a trajectory of care versus incarceration. That's one thing I learned when I first got out of school from Adler University, is I had the opportunity to work with individuals that were coming out of prison, having been on parole and that type of thing, and hearing so many of their stories around what happened, what led to that initial contact, and realizing if they would have had someone there that could have provided additional context and information to the officer, allowing them to maybe use a little bit more of their discretion, could have completely changed the trajectory of their life.